Do you want to turn your small business into a sales machine? Or maybe you are wondering if it's even possible to build a sales team in a small business. I oftentimes hear these questions from my customers, and I decided to record a video in which I'm sharing a couple of tips and tricks that you can use in order to build a sales team in a small business. So let me start by telling you that yes, you can do it. You can have a sales team in a small business, and even if you are on a budget, even if you are wondering if you can afford this or that, stay with me and I will try to explain the concepts that I've used in the past in both of my businesses that have worked like a charm and that enabled me to build seven-figure businesses without any external funding. If you want to build a sales team and you don't know where to start simple. Start by outsourcing the tasks that you do not have to do by yourself, like preparing documents, preparing proposals, preparing calculations, doing a lot of back office work that actually is essential for making a sale in B2B, at least most of the time. But it's not necessary for you to do it with your own hands. In today's post-pandemic reality, it is super easy to work with freelancers. The world has become more globalized than ever. So you can look for a freelancer in a different country, different side of the world, and use portals like Fiverr, Upwork, and dozens of others to find people that are credible, to find people that are interesting, to find people that can bring a lot of value to your business. When you are trying to work with freelancers, make sure that you set particular goals and lines of communication, and everything is being communicated regularly and clearly, because if you are working with an external resource, there is a chance that they do not know your business. They do not understand the broader context. Make sure to have a proper onboarding, to have a proper explanation, and maybe even some written down processes for them to follow and avoid any mistakes that might happen. Before you will hire anyone, make sure to calculate the cost and particular ROI. So how much time you are going to save and how much money it will cost. Before I will move to the next tip on how to build your own sales team, make sure to subscribe to our channel if you are finding this video interesting. So the next super important element of actually building your own sales team is to have a good recruitment process. I oftentimes see that businesses do not have any recruitment process whatsoever, and in my opinion, it's a mistake. So if you want to hire someone that will be selling, let's say, laptops or computers, and you are looking at particular candidates that have been only in agricultural industry and have been selling totally different products on different sales cycles with different parameters, they will not only have to sometimes learn the product, which for most of the salespeople, pretty easy part, but if they will have to switch the mindset of how do they operate. So the sales cycle used to be long, now it's short, or the other way around. So there was only one decision maker most of the time, and now I have to deal with half a dozen of them. There used to be more of a presentation and making a sale kind of approach, and now I have to be a consultant and I have to analyze a whole bunch of parameters. So make sure to think about the particular requirements for a candidate before writing a job ad. Make sure that once you pick certain resumes that will start to come your way from different sources, they are being actually relevant to what you are trying to achieve and the kind of position that you look to fill in with this person. Furthermore, I would like to recommend you to actually have multiple steps in the recruitment process. Instead of having just one conversation, try to have the initial screening, then consider creating some sort of a task or a second meeting that will check for all of the things that you are looking for, like presentation skills, like preparing certain things, like analyzing, like working under a bit of pressure maybe. Try to think about the second round of the recruitment process as the step in which you are checking if someone is skilled enough for the particular job. And the last step of the recruitment process might be a final interview with one of your current teammates, with the other co-founder, only with yourself, depending on the situation and the size of the business. During this particular interview, make sure to double check on the expectations from both ends. Make sure to have a good understanding about what is this person actually going to do, because you don't want to stop the recruitment process, pick a person, and then after 2 days find out that this is not what this person was expecting, or this is completely not what you are looking for. And having this clear understanding and open and very good communication can help you to make informed decision about a candidate. And the third tip that I would like to share with you about building the sales team of your own is to hire and leverage the power of interns. And I know what you might be thinking. My business is too complex, I don't have time to manage interns, and you know what? They just do not know anything about what I'm doing. And I understand where you're coming from, but in most of the cases, at least in my experience, interns are, if of course recruited properly, but you can go back to the previous one and see how to build the process for recruiting interns. Also, interns are great when it comes to bringing fresh energy, new ideas, and actually determining if someone is willing to do the extra mile, if someone is actually ambitious enough to do something good for the team and to bring their personality into the organization. Interns can do a range of things. So I've had interns that were doing the work of virtual assistants that I would normally hire and outsource, like I mentioned in the first part of this video. Interns were also helping us to prepare certain documents. Interns were helping us to refresh certain things like presentations, like descriptions, like spreadsheets with some calculations for different products, a lot of different things. Furthermore, I was successfully running the cold calling department with interns that were actually having a great time with talking with people, finding out about their interests, finding out about what is that motivates them in business. And not only interns were having a great time while working in a client-facing role, they were also able to book a lot, and I mean a lot of consultations for some senior sales reps that were then generating new opportunities from the actual cold calling of interns. Interns were also learning about the products and the services that we were selling, so it was kind of a win-win-win situation. They were learning, we were able to generate more business, justify keeping them within the company, and also find out who's actually determined and who's ambitious enough to become a junior salesperson. But before you will start to get too enthusiastic about interns, make sure that you have processes prepared before they will actually start the internship. Make sure that the process descriptions are there. Make sure that you have a proper onboarding process that helps them to understand what your business is doing and how your business is operating. Make sure to also communicate the company culture, about the ways you guys communicate, about the tools and all of that. Most of the times these people are either totally inexperienced or they do not have good understanding about the best practices that might be obvious for you. So explaining that and providing them with a broader context can save you a lot of time, a lot of headaches, and it can also help you to loyalize them with the company and make them actually eager to work with you after the internship will end. And the last tip from me about interns, make sure to have some sort of a spreadsheet with feedback in which you will be able to fill in your comments as the internship goes by. Because after a week, 2, or a month, you will be having a hard time to remember some of the things positive or negative that happened at the beginning or in the middle of the internship. And it will just be harder and harder for you to have a more of a 360 or more of an informed decision about their fate and about the fact if they are actually going to stay within your company or not. So this was the last one. If you found this video interesting, make sure to subscribe to our channel. If you have any questions about building your own sales team or any of the things that I've mentioned in today's video, make sure to leave them in the comment section down below, and have a great rest of your day. Thanks for watching and see you soon.